So this is what I did on my Weebly blog in October. Week 5 there, just week 5. That's ready for everything that I did. Now I have made some amendments, I've backdated some stuff, I've shuffled some stuff around, so there might already be stuff on here that you've seen in other podcasts. There might be stuff that you haven't seen in the previous podcast, but you'll be looking through my blog anyway, so I don't think that's too much of a problem. Here we have prosthetics, and it froze on my last attempt of doing this podcast, but here we go. So these were my first prosthetics, I believe. It gets a bit laggy with the GIFs. My Wi-Fi and my laptop can't really handle them. Come on, you can do it. Even the GIFs have stopped now. Oh no. Oh no. Come on. There we go. Right. Okay. So yes, prosthetic 1. This is the burn references. Now they are a bit gory, so if you need to look away, do so. But we have picture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty sure that's a prosthetic. These are special effects and examples. Now I love that one. I think that looks really cool. That one's also good. Got that, and that actually bubbles. That one, and that's it. So I use those as sort of my reference images for my own things. Now this is my pitch for my thingy. I don't actually know how they properly work. So this is all of my research, and then I did about the main character, a real life example. He was the Batman killer. I don't know why it's like that. It shouldn't be. I've put my influences down and my target audience. I've put the plot down and the backup plot. Soundtrack ideas, locations, a general direction, and what I will need. So that's that. Then we have the main character audition, which I won't play now because it's fairly long, but you can go and have a look at that. We've got some more prosthetics there. I particularly like that one. Very charred. Then we've got... Come on. Wakey wakey. Very laggy. I apologise. Okay, and then we have the treatment on Prezi. So we start off with the actual trailer and what it is, basically describing what happens through the plot, all of that sort of thing, each part of the trailer. So you can go and read that. So that just describes the whole trailer. Then we move on to sound. So mainly atmospheric sounds and sound effects with a bit of music to build tension and stuff. Because I'm not particularly good at making my own music. Mise en scène. Location, costume, makeup, lighting, performance and props. I've split the thingies into. So we've got location, costume, which I do actually look a bit more into, makeup, lighting, and performance. And then the props. Then we've got cinematography. Much like my editing, I want to keep my cinematography fairly plain, but with a little flair of style in there. I'm going to take my inspiration of my cinematography from Jaws. The rest of it I will explain on a different bubble. So we've got contra zoom, which is used quite a lot, and I like very much. And then we've got other general things that I'll use. And then we go to editing. So the editing will be fairly simple but stylized at the same time. There are a few shots which have clever editing with them. So we have Kevin Gruter, who is the editor of Saw, and I like some of his shots. These are the things that he's worked on. We've got Chris Dickens, who does a lot of work with Edgar Wright, and I like quite a lot of his editing. And then where I'll use them. And that's the treatment. Then I've got some more bonfire planning, which I don't think I'm going to have to do the bonfire, which is brilliant. It saves a lot of hassle. But if I do, it's still there. You know, you can have a look at it. It's planned. It's brilliant. It's fine. Then we've got another emaze. This is for the psychological horror genre. So a bit of genre research. So this is like a description of the genre. And then I've got a little video on the psychology of scares and horror. And then there's some examples of psychological horror. Then we have a trailer analysis, which I still need to voice. We've got another poster analysis, which I still need to voice. Just to sort of help me along a bit. Now we wait for it to load. It's not really behaving itself today. Okay, so we've got a bit of planning here by the looks of it. There we go, so we've got planning for the week. There's actually 2 images in the GIF. I've got teaser trailer conventions, which I'm not actually going to use a teaser trailer, I'm going to go for a full-blown trailer. Then week 6, everything I did in week 6. Trailer analysis, which I need to voice. Another trailer analysis, which I need to voice. Then we've got target audience outline. So that's like my main my main target audience and things like that. We've got week 7, psychological trailer analysis. Then we've got equipment and software used so far. So everything that I've used, technology-wise and things. Then we've got the prop list, which just sort of has all of the props that I'm going to need for it listed on it. So we've got bowl, milk, cleaver, rope, gaffer tape, mirror, bird or cat, case file, chair, spoon, cereal, that's supposed to say, knife, projector, blood, finger, leaves and pictures. So I need to get to work on that and stuff. I have written down everything that I need and I don't need to worry about forgetting about things. With how organised I am, I've written that list about 12 times as well, on paper and on the blog. I do like my lists. Then, as we're talking about lists, we've got a shopping list. So this is basically what I use for my prosthetics, and a bit about how I use them. So I don't know why they've gone so weird. It might be because I've not got them on full screen, but something to make it with and a container. So I use an egg cup and I use liquid latex and cotton wool to build it up if it's a bit of a bigger thing. Now, I cover the person's hair with Pritt Stick because I know that some people don't want to shave certain areas, because they're afraid that the hair will grow back thicker or whatever reason, sometimes people don't, and it's also a lot easier. It just means you're not patchy and things like that. Hairdryer and a mixing plate. Now these are obviously to mix colours, to use as a palette basically, and the hairdryer is to speed things up a bit because it takes quite a while to dry without the hairdryer. Modelling tools, so brushes which dye in liquid latex, so I don't tend to use those with the latex. We've got sponges and things for using to apply makeup, and cotton buds, which I tend to use to apply the latex. And we've got paints and creams, so foundation for the skin colour. We've got that little lip glossy lipstick thing that I like to use for a bit of irritation, redness. I think it's the perfect colour. God knows what I'll do when I run out of it. And we've got some black cream makeup for the charred look, and red for obviously the burn underneath. Then the blood is for obvious reasons, bit of blood from the charring, from the burning, from where they've been tortured. And the Vaseline gives it a shiny surface. And when I read about it, I didn't actually think, I thought, that'll look weird with Vaseline on it. But actually, it gives it a really fleshy sort of gleam, a little glisten to it, like real flesh, and it makes it look wet and damp and horrible, and it actually really adds to the realism, so that's brilliant. And then finally some textures, so some oats, some cat litter, I tried some of that with. I tried sugar, crushed biscuits, all sorts I've tried, as you can see on my prosthetics. Then we've got audience series. So we've got the hypodermic needle theory, the my mind's gone. We've got the copycat theory, desensitization theory, uses and gratification theory, and things like that. And it's basically saying what they are, what's positive about them, why it's in cases that it can be true, and why it can be false and a load of rubbish, basically. So yeah, that's all good. And then we've got some more prosthetics. I really like the one with the little hole on the knuckle. It makes it look really horribly burnt. It does look really charred and awful. Week 8, what I did, a storyboard interview there to test my idea of the storyboard, and then an analysis of the storyboard interviews. Things to do after half term, so I made a little checklist. There I go with my lists again. I have one next to me as well, so I've got all of that. I have actually checked off a lot more than that. It's just I think I messed up the account at some point, so it didn't really work very well, but yeah, I did end up doing quite a bit of it. So yeah, that's that. Then we've got murderer costume. So this is the sort of thing that I want the murderer to write. I don't really know why there's a massive space there. Something a bit like Mike Myers there. Just something dark and cold and horrible. The victims, just sort of teenagerish clothes, that sort of thing, nothing too bad. Chief clothes, just general uniforms, police uniforms, whatever they have, honestly, I think it'll look authentic whether they wear full-on proper chief clothes or not, because I don't think many people actually know what a chief of police looks like, so that's good. That backs me up a little bit there. Then we've got the deputy's costume, where I actually took these from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I think that they would go really well with what I'm sort of aiming for my detective. I do think he would wear a sort of Jake Peralta get-up, maybe cross with Charles there. Charles is the one with the tie. Jake is the other one, him, with the leather jacket. Sort of pretty badass, pretty cool, but with a seriousness to him that he wants to get the case done. And then we've got the victim. Sorry, not the victim, what's he called? The good character, the main guy, protagonist. There we go. Now, I had 2 ideas for him. I definitely wanted to make black, red and blue prominent for their connotations. I wanted to make him look really rugged and scruffy, or very neat, like Christopher from Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. I love it. This is my Halloween prosthetics. I actually won a £25 Topshop gift voucher for it because I won the Halloween costume competition at college. So they must be doing okay. Then I had my audition group chat that I did a little update on. These were the days that I'm free. Then week 9, what I did. Now this was a group victim audition. I won't play it because it's very, you know what, I will play it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm sure the neighbours loved us. I know that was in my neighbour's house, but I'm sure the rest of them loved us. Then I just basically go through each one and ask each one questions. So that was good. My speakers really didn't like the screaming. They could not cope. Scroll down. Oh dear. And I'm back to the top.